So interesting news came out about an NES emulator being found on the Switch, and that wasn't so surprising, I think, to a lot of people, because why couldn't there be an emulator on there,
Yeah.
But it was NES Golf on there, which I think was interesting, and the fact that it also had built-in motion control.
Yes, well, the screenshots show that, yeah, it looks like it has a motion control option. You can either hold it and use the buttons, or it shows a Joy-Con tilted that shows like a swinging motion and a button pressed down.
So this news came from switchbrew.org. They do hacking and file system analysis. So they dumped the title from the file system in July, and it was called Flog, because golf spelled backwards is Flog. And so they booted it up, and then from the boot they were able to access it. What's interesting though is that they kind of came to a conclusion about why they think it was there, which I think was the most interesting part of the story.
Right.
So on July 11th, allegedly you can access Flog or golf in the system, and that is to commemorate Iwata. That's a day of his passing. So, because he worked on the game back in '84.
And supposedly you have to do a Joy-Con motion, possibly a golf swing. That's what has been stated so far.
So, if you want to access it beforehand, you'd have to, I guess, do a original boot of a Switch system and set the date to be in front of that to hit it. Otherwise, I think the Switch knows what the real date is because it connects to the servers, and you won't be able to access it.
Right.
So you have to do it either the first time you put on your Switch that you first buy, or you got to wait until next year.
Probably.
In order to do that. So it's just a cute little story that was found. I don't have a huge amount more to say about it. I think it'd be interesting to play it with motion controls against another player.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting things is what games could they do
with motion control?
I think what would be interesting is to see. I mean, obviously they could do it with golf, but to see like a Wii Sports Lite title almost, but use, if you can, some of the old like black box design games.
You mean black box?
Yeah, basically like a mini game thing where you're using the black box games or the earlier games to do just like simple motion challenges.
What about
add them in?
But what about now you have two Joy-Cons? I don't know, an awesome port of Smash TV on the NES. Now all of a sudden you have two joysticks. You can emulate the arcade feel perfectly then.
Yeah,
using that'd be a cool idea. Mm-hmm. And I think about in terms of motion control, I think it might be a limit overall. Because I mean, how is this going to map exactly correctly to a swing? Like how is it going to map the motion towards just still timing that you go forward and that's when you hit it and try to get into the two little white lines in order to line up the shot correctly? I'm guessing that's what it's going to be. You're actually aiming it.
Well, I'm guessing you probably choose left or right, and then the amount of speed in the accelerometer determines where your bar stops.
Oh, you think so?
I would guess.
You think they actually went in and changed the code a little bit more?
I would have to assume.
Never assume, Ian.
All right.
So as Pat the NES Punk said in 2008, golf spelled backwards is Flog. Did you know that, Ian?
I did.
Oh, that's not as important anymore.